Hello, and welcome to Sacrifice and Success. I'm your host, Kiera, but we're besties already, so just call me Key. On this podcast, we're going to talk about the journey, the real journey behind success. Success doesn't happen overnight, and it sure as hell don't come without any cost. It's about showing up every single day when everything gets tough and still allowing yourself to embrace the growth that comes along with it. We've all seen that glamorous side of success, the fame, the wealth, the recognition. And it's very much so social media driven. But what we don't often hear about is the cost that comes with it. For some, it's sacrificing relationships, time, and comfort. And for others, it's the mental and emotional toll, the self-doubt, the fear, the exhaustion. The reality is, a lot of successful people has paid a price. And for most of us, that cost is deeply personal. It's not always dramatic, but in those quiet moments, with the decision to keep pushing forward and the road feels impossible, that's where true success lies. In this episode of Sacrifice and Success, I'll be opening up about my own personal journey of what it felt like in those moments, sharing the sacrifices I've been through. How did I make it here to where I am now? How they made me who I am today. It's not always pretty. There are so many sacrifices I've made on my personal journey, but I think that one of the biggest for me was family. I think that all started when I first went to college. So I attended University of Missouri St. Louis on a full ride 5-year scholarship. I took my COVID year, which is why I said 5 years, quite old. But being from Houston, Texas, going all the way to Missouri as a first generation college student in my family, a first generation grad. Honestly, that was major for me. Being 13 hours away from home, that was so hard, so tough to be away from my mom, my brothers, my nieces and nephews, my sister. It was hard to be away from family, but I think that I was up for the task. I don't think that was something I shied from. I think that God kind of put a seed in my back. He put a seed in me to understand, I wanted to see the world. I wanted to go out and, breathe the world on my own independency to figure out what it is that I want to do in life. It was the start of my journey for real. I think that if I would have stayed in Texas and go to school, I would achieve, some of the same things, but I don't think I would have had near as the experience that I did in Missouri because of the fact that I felt like I would have been more grounded and sheltered being so close to home. I would have relied on going home every other weekend, really allowing myself to branch out, go so far away from home, having to find my first job, work, to depend on myself for money, I had to give up things. I had to give up family ultimately to just understand where was my life going to take me at the start of my college career. I feel like that was the start of my journey, giving up family as a sacrifice because of the fact that I did have a lot of things going on at home. My mom was a single parent. She wasn't in the best health when I left. I feel like that was something that was going to hold me back from leaving and from wanting to go because of the fact that I wanted to be there for my mom. When I was in 9th grade, she had a stroke. It was something that was very big that happened to me going into high school. So I think that in that moment of me having to leave, I knew she would have needed help. I knew that my brother had her because it was always us three, but I still had my doubts and worries because I didn't want to leave them behind. I knew they would have needed my help, and I knew they would have got by, but at the same time, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I knew that was something I had to give up, and that was my very first big sacrifice when it came to family, leaving my mom and my brother behind. Like I said, after my mom had her stroke when I was in 9th grade, she was in the hospital for 8 months straight. And half of those months, she wasn't responsive. She had a lot of tubes hooked up to her. And it was just really hard to see my mom like that. The woman who gave birth to you, it was just very hard at the time to even navigate that as a new high school student, and even throughout high school, I still had to help my mom and do things for the family and just mature at an earlier age than most people. because, unfortunate things happen and circumstances come into play. And it's like, it's not about what you go through, but it's about how you handle situations. And how you handle situations make you who you are. How you handle situations show you, yeah, I'm strong enough and I can do this. And nothing, if I can handle this, nothing can stop me. And that's ultimately what God has taught me over the course of my career. I'm strong enough for any battle. He don't give you something that you can't handle. And sometimes he gives you something that you can't handle for you to lean on him, for him to handle it. That was like one of the biggest things, and I really gave it to God, and I still do. I was away for college for 5 years, basically. I only came home for Christmas for 2 weeks, spring break, and 2 weeks out of the summer. All the rest of that time in those 5 years, I was at school. I was working out, trying to be the best basketball player I could be at that school, make a name for myself, and ultimately pursue my dream of being a professional athlete, which I am today. I feel like that was something that was really major for me to understand, because I even struggle with that even now to this day. I struggle with the fact that every time I have to get on a plane or every time I have to pack, like I'm getting closer to leaving my mom again. Every time like that time comes around where I get that call like, hey, we need you, like we got a spot opened up, blah, 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 this and that. That's when it really all sets in for me and her. And she literally starts crying like 2-3 days ahead before I even have to leave. I'm like, dang. No, really, she starts being mean to me like a week before. But that's not here nor there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's just because we love each other so much. And it's hard for us to leave each other when we so bonded. So I say like leaving family and like missing out on the time of like seeing my nieces and nephews grow up. I want to be that aunt for them. Like, I want to be that rich auntie, you know what I'm saying? Like the auntie that got it, that be taking them on shopping sprees and everything else. I want to be that auntie for them. But it's so hard for me to like watch them grow up before my eyes, and like I come back for breaks or whatever and I see them and they just so big and I'm like, dang, where did time go? When you get this big? Like, that's very like big for me as well, because I am very family oriented. I don't like missing that time. Whenever I can spend that time with them, I be wanting to. I miss so much time with them. I miss so much time being able to help my mom. I miss so much time. Another big part of my life that I felt like I kind of was saddened about was missing time with my second oldest brother, because he passed away recently. So I feel like when I was at school all that time, and like I was so happy because my senior year, not my super senior year, but my senior year of college, I was playing basketball, and my mom and my brother, they were able to come to one game. Right, we was playing the #1 team. Right, like we was playing. I was playing Division II, a good level Division II, like a good school. We had some top hitters in our league for sure, and we was playing Drury University. Right, and my mom never been on a plane before. I don't think my brother ever been on a plane either before. And they flew out to come see me play that December. And I think this was like right before Christmas break or whatever. I don't even remember. But yeah, they flew out to come see me play. And I was like, I went off that game. Like when I tell you, I was so happy. That was their first time ever like coming to see me play in person in college. I was off of a high. Couldn't no one tell me anything else about myself. Like I went 100% from the field, I think, that day. I was just killing. We won. And no one thought we was going to win that game. But, like, that game, everyone turned up. Like, everyone turned it up. You know those type of games that, like, everyone's so hyped for, because it's like, oh, you shouldn't win these games. But when you do win these games, like, it's a statement. It was one of them. Like, it was definitely one of those games. Like, and I did it for my mama. I did it for my brother. I did it for myself. And I was just like, and I did it for my team. And I think that was, like, a monumental moment for me that just allowed all that sacrifice to like really show in the success of that game. We beat a #1 ranked in the polls. In NCAA Division II, we beat the #1 ranked that year that was in our conference. That was beyond me, for real. That was like so beyond me. That was just a wonderful moment. My people did not like the cold. It was snowing at the time, It was just time that I got to spend with them in my space. and for them to see like my life in college basically. And I felt that like, you know, like they've only seen me when I was home before I left to college. So, you know, it was just different. Not shortly after that, my brother had got really sick because my people were supposed to come back up there for my graduation, for my bachelor's. And I didn't know that he got really sick. I feel like throughout that time of me being in college, we kind of lost touch a little bit. Like I was so close with him. Like we're like this. We were like this. And like we always used to fight like cats and dogs. He was only 5 years older than me. But yeah, like he got really sick and like it was like sometimes where we would talk, you know, and like I think I just got too caught up into the focus of like my life and college, what I needed to do in my life, where I kind of forgot about, not forgot, but like I just paid less attention to the lives that I love. That kind of like still plays a role in my head day to day because of the fact that I felt like I missed that time of him getting to know my transition. Of course, when we're kids, it's different. Like, you know, we're always around each other. We're always with each other. But during that 5-year period, it was kind of like hard. Like he didn't really get the grasp of who I was, of the woman I was becoming. He saw the pictures, he saw the videos, he saw me when I came home, but you know, like me being away and me actually learning on myself and me having those hard talks with him, like from sister to brother and brother to sister, like we kind of lacked those a little bit. And he reached out and like sometimes I would revisit the messages and things like that, and I'll just be like, damn, like if only I would have been able to not so much focus on being so determined to do things and still allow myself to have that relief of just knowing that I could talk to family whenever I wanted to or whenever I needed to, because sometimes we sacrifice things unintentionally. Sometimes we sacrifice it because we're so determined on what we want to get to and what we want to be and where we want to go, where it's like it's not always about pressure and putting all that pressure on yourself. Like I was the first one in my family to go to college and finish, to graduate with a bachelor's and a master's. And right now I'm getting a second master's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Out of all my siblings, and I'm the baby of 4, you know? My mom and my dad, they never went to college. They finished high school, but they never went to college. You know, I kind of got caught up in that. I kind of lacked the awareness to just understand that, hey, like, you know, you still have family. You very family oriented, and you still need to communicate with them more than you're just so focusing on your own life, you know? And I did want to pave that way for myself, but at the same time, that's something like I had sacrificed. And at the end of the day, like I know my brother's always with me, and it was just like kind of hard though to lose him. And I felt like I just sacrificed so much time with him that I could have had back, that I wish I could have back now. After that had happened, after he had passed, it was so crazy because on the day of his funeral, so like my brother with me with basketball, he was like dead ass my like ace boom coon, my ride or die. Like he was like the one that was like, you had 15 boards, you could have had 20. Like you missed 3. I saw that girl jump over you and get 2 or 3 of them boards. I'm like, bruh, like she really was long as hell. He was like, nah. Like, you know, he always like kind of pushed me in a way. It was so competitive. I had to do better. Like I wanted to do better. Like he knew like the heights that I could go to. Like, you know, he knew my dreams and my goals, which is ultimately why he even sacrificed his time like out of his life to help take care of my mother. And you know, that's what kids are supposed to do. You know, like we're not the type of people that's gonna just put our mama in a hospital or put my mama in a nursing home. Like we love our mama. He sacrificed that for me to go live my dreams. That was like a big ultimate piece that really shaped where I'm at right now, because if he would have never done that, like I wouldn't even probably be here in front of you guys. Like I probably would have been at home taking care of my mom, turning down a whole bunch of opportunities that I would have had to turn down because of the fact that like I would have had to stay home. I would have had to stay in Texas. I would have had to just like find a different avenue of probably working a 9-to-5 and probably doing this and probably playing basketball on the side and not fully pursuing my dreams. So that was a sacrifice within a sacrifice. Like sometimes those are made in order for you to be a better person, in order for you to come out to like, you know, on top. And when you have supportive people like that behind you, like, you know, and they see what you're doing, they see your sacrifice that you have to make, they see the things that you have to put into play for you to be successful, for them wanting you to be successful, they gonna help you along the way regardless. They gon' get you to where you need to be with whatever they can do just to help you out, you know? And it don't always have to be financial. It don't always have to be just like bragging, like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't never about the fame, the wealth, none of that, like the recognition. They just gonna see it because they know who you are. They know your heart. They know your mindset. They know your goals. Like, you know, they know your dreams and they support them all the way. You have to have a backbone like that, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you pressurizing yourself to just get to where you want to be, like, yeah, it's gonna make you exhausted. It's gonna tire you out. You're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be in good spirits. And I was allowed to sacrifice time with family, sacrifice not being home for Thanksgiving, sacrifice not being home all those months, you know what I'm saying? Only being home out of the summer for 2 weeks, you know? I was able to sacrifice all that time to just like be able to pursue my goals and dreams and to just really see where I wanted to do and like really just be the best version of myself that I could be in that moment of time of me learning life lessons. So like I applaud my brother because rest in peace. Without his sacrifice, my sacrifice wouldn't have been as big. It wouldn't have been as impactful. That was like something that was really major for me. And so it was like, what was so crazy to me was the fact that like the day of his funeral was the day that my phone was blowing up. It was on silent, so I really wasn't even paying attention to it that whole day. And it was my agent. And he called me. He was like, the Spain team wants you. They really, really want you. Like, he didn't know what was going on with me at that point either. Like, he didn't know what was going on with me at that moment. He was just so urgent about it, too. Like, he was like, they really, really want you. And I was like, I was so excited, but I was so sad. I felt like that opportunity came from him, you know? Like, I felt like he knew that I wanted to continue pursuing my dreams, and that was, like, a departing gift from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was, like, something that he gave me to like continue following my dreams and to not be able to just allow myself and all that sacrifice that he made and all the sacrifice that I made go to waste, you know? It was like, continue doing what you're doing because you're making us proud from heaven and from earth. Like that was like something that was so hard. And I just told my agent, I was like, I'm very excited about the opportunity and we could talk about it further on Monday. But like right now I'm just like, I can't like really be in a space to be as happy as I wanted to be. And yeah, like everyone, even at the funeral, everyone around me was like so happy, super excited. And they was all saying the same thing. Like, yeah, like that was his gift to you. That was a gift to you, you know? And so like every time I leave my mom, we do this thing where like we talk to my brother because like he was cremated, so he got ashes. So we talk to my brother. Every time I leave, like she cries, and I try not to cry. I try to be big tough, you know what I'm saying? It was just always us. And even this year when I went to the UK, like the offer came on the day that he passed away, you know? So it's just crazy like how things work. That I could say, like, it's just so crazy how things work and how things like come about. But yeah, like those were sacrifices made within sacrifices. And ultimately, I love family. Love family without a doubt. Like, love them down, okay? Like, taking that time away from people that you love, like, you just got to always have faith and know that whatever you doing, you got to do it for them. Because I'm trying to get to that place where, oh, okay, my mama don't got to pay for nothing. My mama don't got to worry about this. My mama don't got to worry about that. My mama don't got to worry about nothing. Like, she don't got to worry about nothing. Like, I want to pay all her bills. I want to make sure I could put her in a great, big house. I was finna cuss. Like, I want to take care of my mama. Like, she took care of me and my siblings. It's always, and I find that like a common denominator with athletes or just people in general that's like driving after something. They don't just do it for themselves. A lot of people may do it for themselves, but they do it because they have something that's like driving them. And family ultimately is my drive. Without family, I don't know like if I would have as much expectations to look up to because like my family is super proud of me. And I used to think that I just wasn't as successful as like everyone was looking at me as. When I got my bachelor's, I was like, yeah, I'm a first generation grad, and like everyone around me was making it way bigger than like what I thought I did. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like, oh my gosh, like that is so monumental. Like that is so dope. Like that is great. Like you're a first generation. I'm so proud of you. Like, you know? And I was just like, thanks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that hard. Like I was just at school playing basketball. Like, you know, like that's what it was. Ultimately, I didn't see it as, dang, like I sacrificed all that time with my family to be in the gym, to even before I got to college, to be in the gym so much to where I could have the opportunity to go to college on a full ride scholarship. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed all that time, and I sacrificed the parties, the going out. Like I wasn't even of age. I really didn't even start going out till my senior year, because like I wasn't finna do the fake ID stuff. I wasn't finna do none of that. Like I didn't really start going out to like the parties and stuff till my senior year for real. I was always in my room, the gym, like working out, like trying to get better. Like that was my mentality that whole time, to get better, to achieve. And it was just so much more of success to achieve. That was like something that drove me. My family was a drive for me, you know, and a lot of people have to have that drive. That's something that's like pushing them each and every way. Without, like I said, without that backbone, like it's gonna be hard to sustain that path, because like you're gonna get lost. You either gonna get lost within yourself, or you gonna get lost just along the journey. Sometimes it's gonna get tiring. Who's gonna pick you up in those days? Sometimes it's gonna get restless. Who's gonna keep you going? Like that's just what it is. Those are difficult decisions, and a lot of guilt comes with them. Like a lot of guilt comes with like having to leave family behind, having to like just continue on, having to like not really like allow those things to put an emotional toll on you, put that exhaustion on you, you know, put that fear like, oh, I don't want to lose someone else when I'm gone so far away, you know? It makes you double think about what you're doing in a moment. Like even right now, like it makes me double think about what I'm doing in a moment, and should I be at home with my mom, or should I continue like following my dreams? You know what I'm saying? Like those are the tough decisions. The tough decisions that shape me along the way of who I need to be. Like these are the tough decisions that makes me me, like, you know, and not everyone gets to go through them. Everyone has different tough decisions, a different journey. That along the way, our growth is gonna show like, hey, like she did this was happening to her at the time, this was happening to her at the time, but she still persisted to be who she wanted to be, because she had those people trusting in her. She had those people believing in her, and it only takes one. It only takes one person to believe in you other than yourself. And that's all you need to just keep going, to change, to grow, to be better, to do better, you know? Even when you feel like you're letting people down, especially the ones who have been there for you in the beginning, what I've learned is that in these sacrifices, as painful as they may feel in a moment, they're all a part of growth and success. It may feel impossible. It may feel like you don't want to continue, but it's all a part of the continuing success that you may breed. And it doesn't mean I don't value family. Like I said, I'm very family oriented. It strengthens me. It strengthens my commitment to do what I say I'm going to do and create a better future for them. I want the best for them. I want the best for my nieces and nephews. I want the best for my siblings. I want the best for my mama. I want the best for myself. You know, like I just want better. I didn't come from too much. Like we didn't have the best growing up situation. So it's like, I want the best for myself, you know? And one of my favorite quotes by Eric Thomas, I love him as a speaker. Like he just exemplifies pain and success and what you have to go through. And even whatever you may go through, you got to keep going. One of my favorite quotes that he said was, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Like that statement alone says everything that it needs to say without me even employing of what it means, like for real. No explanation needed for that, because like that's how bad I want to be successful, period, Pooh, like period. Like it ain't nothing else to say for that. But it's like an ongoing balancing act. Like in these moments where you feel torn and it's important to stay focused on what you're doing, you have to trust that eventually the sacrifices will lead to reward. If you think that you're going to sacrifice something short term, you're going to get short term back out of it. It's not going to last. It's not going to be longevity. If you want something that's long term, You know, you're going to have to put the days, the time, the effort, the work, the consistency in it. Because without all that, you're going to get short-term reward. When you put all that, you show up day in and day out, getting better is the goal, doing the same thing, improving every day, that's when you get long-term success. I'm finna have to come to a close very soon, but like, it's crazy. What's tough is that there's no guidebook for it, you know? And I wish that someone would have been able to share and tell me like what I needed to do in order to be where I want to be, you know? And all these people, all these stars that like have made it, that have been successful, they can give you tips. They can tell you, you know, and like the main thing that they gonna say that they did that separated them from everyone else, they worked for it. They wanted to get better. They had that mindset like, hey, like it's not gonna come easy. Even when, and they've been told no. You have to be told no in order to be told yes. You might get 100 no's, and that next one might be a yes. Go into every situation that you're confident, that you're successful, that you already became successful from the opportunity because of the fact that you even tried. Like, let's talk about it right there. You already became successful from the opportunity because you tried. A lot of people fail because they have the fear of failure, so they don't try. So when they don't try, you can't be successful. Like, that, what? Like, real spill. You got to try. You're going to get told no. But then when you get told yes, that's like, yeah, like I did that. I made that happen. You know, and that feeling is always great because it gives you that boost of confidence like, yeah, I'm on the right path. Yeah, I'm doing everything that I need to be doing. That's right, you know? And sometimes the cost of success is measured in precious moments. And sometimes you can't get that back with the people that you love the most. And it's hard. It is. It's not going to be easy. It's never going to come easy. The main thing that I try to remind myself is that my family is a part of my why. My family is a part of my drive. Like, they're the reason why I do this without having to choose between success and family. So I have to close here, but that's all I have today. And I want to leave you with this. I want you to reflect on your own sacrifices that you have made in your own personal journey to get to where you want to be. And I want you to write them down and appreciate the small sacrifices that you have made, because small or big, they all matter. Anything that you have gave up in order to move in the direction that you want to go, I want you to reflect on those things and really just reflect on the people around you that have stayed down for you, that have pushed you to greater heights, that have pushed your limits to make you better, you know, because they wanted to see you better, because they wanted to see you successful. Realize those people that are around you. Realize where you want to go in life. Reflect on that. And I even want to hear your story. If you want to even share your own story with you to sacrifice with family, sacrifice time, comfort, anything, relationships, I want you to drop it down in the comments below. Because like, this is a safe space. We all are trying to make it, and there is a spot for all of us in this world. We have the ability to leave a different impact. No one was made the same. Everyone was made to reach heights of things that they never thought they would unlock, you know? And it sometimes just take people to be there with you, to put that confidence within yourself, to embrace you, to show yourself how you need to embrace yourself, because to know that you are that person, you are that girl, you are that boy, you are that man, you are that woman, you are that entrepreneur, you are that athlete, you are great, you are wonderful, you are good. Like, you're him, you're her, like, period. And put some respect on that. Put some respect on your own name. So I want you to just, if you have time, I want you to currently just drop something in the comments that you are trying to achieve right now. And we're all going to support you. I want you to drop something that you have achieved and you are proud of. We're all going to support you. And whether or not you are ready to make the sacrifices that continues to grow your success or to put you to your success of where you want to be, we're here for you, whether or not you're ready to achieve them or not. That's all that we have today. I'm your host, Key. But I hope to see you back here. And if you enjoyed this segment, please do not hesitate to like, comment, share to your friends, and subscribe. I'll see you next time on Sacrifice and Success.